Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to quickly run you through the Kea Cascade, referred to as the Kea Breeze. This is a 4-berth motorhome with a drop-down bed. So I'll run you through the outside features and then we'll step inside and we'll run you through all the essentials. So I've got the power lead here. I'll just show you how to plug it in. So to plug it in, you come on to this side here. That point there, you want to lift this up like so, slot that in there like so, and just push it in. Normally when you're at a campsite you'll have a plug like this. Just lift that up like so and plug it in, and that automatically starts charging the battery, and you can use your microwave and all the 240 points. Next thing we'll do while we're on this side, I'll show you where the gas bottle is, and we will open it so that we can run the stove top and the gas water heater. So you open that, that's your gas bottle over there, open that, and these are your shutoff valves if you ever need it. So when they're in this position, they're open. When you turn it in the horizontal position, they're closed off. So always make sure they're open in the vertical position. So that gas bottle is open at the moment. Make sure you always close it before driving, and if you're leaving the motorhome, make sure it's closed as well. Your toilet is located over here. Just push that, push those two buttons, and that's where your toilet is. Sometimes the toilet might not eject when you pull this here. That means the toilet lid at the top is not closed. So just always make sure it's closed inside. I'll show you that when we're inside. You just pull this out and dump it at an authorized dump station. There's plenty of videos on that if you're unfamiliar on how to do that. This is just storage. So the storage is accessed via this key here. We normally keep the fresh and the grey water hose in this side because the grey water outlet is just there. So to drain the grey water is just over here. All you have to do is undo this cap, connect up the grey water hose, and just pull on this valve. Again, do this at an authorized dump station. This is your hot water heater. When you switch on your heater, you'll notice if you come outside, if you want to check that this heater is running, just gently move your hand up and down here, and carefully as well, because it'll be quite warm. There'll be hot air coming out. That's how you establish if the hot water heater is running. Sometimes if the wind picks up and it blows into here, it can blow out the flame. In that scenario, just turn the motorhome around. Depending on your model, you might have a bike rack fitted, you might not have a bike rack fitted. But if you do have a bike rack fitted, it's fairly straightforward. These are adjustable in here. Those little nuts, you just undo them. You undo these and then you can slide it to the perfect size on your bike and then just strap it in with these straps. It's fairly self-explanatory. And these are your support bars that hold the frame of the bike. On this side we've got more storage. So if it's in the vertical position, it's locked. This key opens it like so. Just gives you more access to your storage. And you've got a safe down there as well, that middle box, if you're wondering what that is. The freshwater filler, to access that, you just use this key, turn that and just fill it in there. That's your little vent there. Sometimes when you're filling water in there, you get a lot of air. That is a little vent tube, but it might pay to also just pull out the pipe and let the air come out as well, and then start refilling. Others you might not get a full tank. The awning, I'll show you how to do it on this one. Undo this wing nut here, undo this wing nut here, come inside. Your pole is located here. Just grab it from there, and you want to open those tabs up there. Push that up like so, push the other tab up like so. Then you want to take this, put that in there, and literally just pull the awning out. It's a bit hard doing it with one hand and holding the camera, but I'll try my best. So you get the idea. You just keep pulling it until it comes out, and then when you're done with it, you want to slowly, gently push it in. Never put it out on a windy day. It's the safest to leave it closed if the day is not looking good. But on a bright sunny day, you can go ahead, feel free to use it. When you're done with it, lock that tab there. If this one doesn't align, all you want to do is just grab this and just give it a little bit of a wiggle. And then that just locks in there. Then you can go ahead and lock this. And you can go ahead and lock this. And your pole can go back up here. You've got a step over here. It's a manual step, you just pull it out. Don't forget to put that in before driving off. Stepping inside now. Stepping inside, this is your main control center, where all the lights and everything are located. So we'll turn on the lights when that switch there. And we'll also turn on the water pump. And now we'll turn on the water heater. Sometimes if you've left your motorhome for a few months and you're coming to use the water heater and you're not sure if there's air in the line, what I'd suggest is turn on the range hood, come here, and just light one of these up so you can just check and see if there's gas in the line or if your bottle's low. So as you saw there, it went off. So that's a safety feature on these camper stoves. So what you want to do is light it, hold this knob in for about 10 seconds. There's a little safety isolator just up there near the flame. Once that gets warm, then you can let go and then you can adjust the flame. It's just there in case in a worst case scenario, if the wind blows the flame out, that'll prevent gas from escaping and filling up your motorhome. That just cuts the gas supply. So now we know there's gas in the bottle and there's no air in the line. You can shut that off. Similarly, if you want to light the other one, straightforward, push, hold, push the ignition, just hold it and it will stay on. You've got one electric element there, so when you're plugged into power, you don't have to waste your gas. So all you do is just turn that switch on and then so you turn this on and then you just control it via the knob here. And that light comes on to indicate that that's running. Now because I've plugged into power, the microwave will work like so. Now we can see the gas hot water heater is on because that light is dim. If that light comes on as a bright red light, which I'll show you, so if I turn it off, if you see a bright red light, that indicates a fault or it's trying to start. We'll just watch it now and you should see that go dim, indicating the water heater switched on. And there you go. I don't know if you heard that noise as well. That click is the relay switching on the igniter. You've got little lights all over the motorhome. There, at the back, up there, and this switch here controls these lights over here under the bed. Plus you've got a couple of reading lights here as well. Since we're here at the back, I'll cover a couple of points. This table is removable. You just basically undo that straightforward, undo those two nuts. This table goes in here when you're not using it. You just clip it in there. And the reason why you would take off the table is to convert this area into a rear lounge if you wanted to, a rear lounge, or if you wanted to convert it into another additional bed for your extra passengers. So these are the extra squabs for that rear area. The fill-in boards are just at either side here and here, and that just goes over here and just fills in that whole area. The bed, depending on your model, some models have a key, some models don't. And if you've got the electric bed, all you literally do is, if the key is not there, this will not work. So you have to put the key in there, turn it to the horizontal position, and then you just push it. Literally push the button. You can leave the bed at whatever height you want, because you've got a ladder as well, so you can leave it at whatever desired height. And if you really wanted to, you could remove all the squabs and the bed will go right down to the bottom there if you don't want to be using the ladder. But that's how that works. And when you're done with it, all you do is just push the button and it will take the bed right up to the top. You can basically set up the bed with all your linen and covers and stuff like that, and you can put it to the top. That's also fine. You don't have to remove it every time. So to access that safe, if you wanted to, that I was showing you outside, it's just over here, and it's just a key tab safe. Since we're at the back, I'll show you the fridge as well. So the fridge is fairly efficient, and you control it via this thermostat over here. So if you want to turn it off, turn it to 0, and if you want to set it to your desired temperature, just set it to whatever you want. This is quite important, this part here that slides. So I don't know if you can read that, it says to vent and to lock. So when you're not using the motorhomes or after a long trip, you want to slide this to the vent position, because you want to leave this fridge a bit open, because you don't want moisture to build up there and basically cause mold. So you want to leave the fridge to vent and get rid of all the extra moisture. And that's pretty important, so don't forget to do that. But at the moment, we'll leave it on and we'll leave it fully closed. Also, don't forget to leave it in the vent mode when you go camping. Otherwise, your fridge will constantly run and your food will not get cold. So make sure you take note of that. Storage for your glass and your cups and stuff like that are all up here. And here's your little range hood. You've got lights on it and you've got a blower. Another thing with this cooktop, if this is warm here, don't close this glass. Always make sure this is cool before you shut this glass. If you find the grill rattles about, what I normally do is just, you can put some grip material here, or you can just put a tea towel or similar just to wrap the grill if it's rattling and annoying you. The TV is fairly straightforward. You turn on the media switch and that turns on the TV, and then you can just use the remote, turn it on like so. If you're in Auckland or in an area where there's good reception, you will pick up TV. You might pick it up today, as you can see. But otherwise, in most other places, you're not really going to pick it up, and you really need a satellite at the top. So you've got roof vents here and here. Don't open them when they're windy, and make sure you don't drive with them open as well. A lot of people do that. They don't realize they can blow away quite easily. On a day like this where it's windy, I would recommend just keeping it closed. Now moving on to the bathroom, your light switch is here. So this is your bathroom area. This is adjustable, so this just comes down, goes up and down when you need it, the shower head. And you've got your tap there, and that's your control for the shower at the top there, hot and cold water. You've got a little vent over there, so when you turn on the diesel heater, it heats up this whole area, which is great for winter. The toilet, now coming to the toilet, this is a swivel tab bowl, just swivels like so. This is the lever to open the toilet. So if I push the flush button now, it won't work because I've not turned on the toilet switch over here. So you've got to turn on the toilet switch. Now if I come here and push that button, the flush works. So it's fully electronic and there's nothing to fill up because it draws water from the main tank. So like I said, when you're done with the toilet, make sure it's closed, otherwise it will not eject the cassette. So with this lever here, push it and that closes that. There's a little guide here that explains it if you ever do forget. And you've got another roof vent over there as well. And you've got a switch there for that light, or you can just turn it off here. you ever need to access your house battery and fuses, it's just located underneath the seat. All you literally do is just pull it up. You just have to pull the seat up and it just pops out. Your main battery isolator switch is over here. So if you're parking it for some time or in a garage or under a cover, just turn that to the off position. Otherwise, you can drain the battery for no reason. Got a couple of charge points here. 12-volt socket. Your RCD switches are over here. Make sure they're always in the on position. And finally, we come to the tank monitor. So that's where you just monitor your tank. Nothing really to explain there. And the diesel heater, all you literally do is just turn it to the on position, like so. Just leave it there. It'll start up, do its thing, and within about a couple of minutes, we'll call about 5 minutes, it'll start heating up the motorhome. So it comes, there's one vent here and the other one in the bathroom area, which I showed you. And always take note of your fire extinguisher. That's pretty important, that you know where it is at all times. And make sure all the drawers, cupboards, the step and everything is closed and in before you set off when you're driving. And make sure there's nothing on the bench top, and that this sink glass here is closed before driving off. And if you ever do turn on the water pump and you hear it constantly running, what you want to immediately do then is come here and just open the tap. That lets out all the air from the system. You don't want that water pump running. It should switch off if none of the taps are on. That's pretty important. Now you can hear the diesel heater running. It works pretty well and it's very straightforward. We won't need it now, so we'll just turn it off. When you turn it off, it'll do its own thing and take a couple of minutes, go through its cool down procedures, and then it'll turn off. So coming to the front, I'll quickly cover the basics on the Mercedes Sprinter. So this is a keyless system. You can normally just leave the key here, but if for any instance, if the key doesn't really get picked up here, because I've got spare keys here at the moment, so you can get confused, what you do is you come underneath here, just to that slot there, in there, and you just pop the key in there, if you ever need to. That's what that is. It's got an electronic park brake over here, which is activated from here. So pull it to activate it and disengage it. Light switch is here. Your shifter column is here. So reverse is up, drive is down, neutral is in the middle, and park, you just push it here to activate park. Wipers are over here. And sprinklers, just push it in here. So at the moment I have it plugged into power, so that's good. It warns me that I cannot start the engine. But I'll just run you through this touch control system. So this is a touch sensitive system. All you do is just scroll through it, and it'll run through the different menus. And finally, this is your cruise control. So all you do is when you're driving, you just push it up to set it, and it'll automatically hold that speed. But remember, it's not active cruise control, so bear that in mind. And this is your limiter if you need it, and then you can just cancel it. The full Mercedes manual is normally located there if you ever need more info. These have, if you're in the late model Kea Breeze, these have factory fitted swivel seats. So to use the seats and swivel it around, you need to move this lever here. So when you push that lever, you might have to pull your seat forward as well. So if you pull your seat forward, this whole seat just turns around, and then this becomes your little lounge area. So that lever there allows you to move your seat forwards or backwards, and that lever there is basically for the rotation of the seat to turn it around. So I tried to keep this video as brief as possible. I know there's many other aspects to this motorhome, but you can basically find that in your user guide. All the info is explained in detail over there. Thanks for watching, everyone. As I said, any questions, just feel free to refer to the manuals, either your Mercedes manual or your provided manual with the motorhome.